Hey, what is up, you guys? It's your boy Kimo here. So today we've got a video because I got requested by someone to make a quick one-on-one guide about Crocodile, which I was interested to do. Crocodile is one of the most fun decks that have come out since I've started playing anyway, and it will always be one of my most beloved decks, right? So I am truly down to do this. So yeah, why am I gonna make uh how do I say? Why am I going to make a presentation of Crocodile? Well, Crocodile is a strong deck that will reward you if you are a great pilot. It is one of those decks. If you master the deck, if you're strong with the deck, if you put the hours in, if you learn the matchups, you will be able to win with it. Not easily, it will be always a grind game. Crocodile is not known to be winning quickly, but it is known to be a grindy deck that rewards you the more you put time into it. Why is it a good deck for great pilots? It is a very neutral leader. I will try and put a picture on the screen of the leader, my bad. But the leader effect is actually you may KO one of your Powerworks characters and then you may give something -10 cost. Now, when this leader got revealed back in the day, I remember that it used to be a joke in the Discord, and we understood that there seems to be kind of a trend with black leaders lately. I remember we were talking about Crocodile when it got revealed, and then we were talking about Yamato. Everyone was trashing Yamato, and then suddenly the decks were actually kind of good. So yeah, you have so many tools with Crocodile due to the effect of to on KO your characters and all your characters having on KOs and also on plays, which means you will trigger both the on KO, if not both the on KO and the on play as well. So that is very interesting. But what does he do truly? What is the main goal of Crocodile, right? Well, Crocodile's main goal is to board control late game as much as you can using the 8 cost Crocodile, your freezing guy, and use as many tools you have to get to your winning condition. This is very depending on the matchups. The deck is kind of a very 50-50 deck. What do I mean by this? Is no matchup you will instantly win. There is always some thought to be had within every matchup. It's not just a breeze through every game. There are some matchups that are a bit favored, but you still need to put your head in the game. What do I mean by that is some decks you will see you will need to go wide, therefore you will need to go miss all Sundays. Some decks you need to freeze, so you will need to see all your crocs. There is no way you can win with only one or two. Some decks you will need to become a 7k leader out of necessity to be able to win the game. So yeah, Croc can do all of this, and therefore Croc is a very, I'm gonna say, very balanced leader. It's not just broken in and out of itself. It's a lot of deck building as well as a lot of matchup knowledge. So I've been playing Croc a lot. I'm gonna be honest. I've played more Yamato and Sengoku lately in OP16 format on the sim, but I've played a few Croc games. And while we're still waiting on the sim stats to be revealed on Croc, because as of now I've only seen the new hype decks for OP16, um, Croc will definitely need to adapt. Some cards will go out, or some cards will be run on more copies. I'm talking mostly about Gem, right? So when we talk about the matchups and the new decks that will be an issue for Croc, these are the three culprits. And naturally, this is like the first take I'm having. There need to be way more testing into the Crocodile matchups. Also, I need to talk with better Crocodile pilots to see what they think of the matchups. The only take I am not very sure is the Goofy matchup, but that we will get onto that later on. But there's number one, the big problem, the elephant in the room. We have Ace. Ace is a pain for Crocodile because they have access to big blocking bodies, as well as being a 6k leader effect and having their leader ability of being able to do just trash any card in their hand becomes a 2k basically. So it becomes very difficult to aggro this leader, and once you can finally aggro that leader, if they have a down on their leader, they don't really get punished. instead of getting one draw from their life, they get two draws. So sometimes they will be taking life if they know, you know what, I'm not gonna die soon. I might as well take the cards to get advantage and to get a wide array of options. Now, Ace has gotten some new support into with the red Whitebeard engine that has come out for the OP16 Ace, which is funny because all that engine has been used in other decks than actually, you know, that new leader. But yeah, so therefore Ace, OP13 Ace is going to be a big issue for Crocodile. But then, my question to you is, if you're playing Red Blue Ace, why the fuck are you going X2, bro? Anyway. Then we have the comeback, and this one I'm not that mad about it, especially thanks to the fact that Pudding is now gone. I am glad to see Boa come back. I am happy that my friend Brian gets to play one of his favorite decks, and now I understand why Boa is not that bad. I've played against it a few times. I got triggered by the fact that they have now access to the 8 cost teach as well as new trigger bodies. Under one of them, there is the Marigold that becomes a trigger blocker basically. I've lost a few games where I just did not account for the trigger blocker to happen, and I just lost because that one blocker coming out of life on that last swing is truly a pain to deal with. Now, against Crocodile, that is going to be issue why the deck is very aggressive. Crocodile, you like to poke in the mid game, early game, and Boa will just let you go. And you will just be facing an onslaught of bodies coming out on the field, and you cannot just go, hey, I'm gonna clear everything and go wide or whatever. That's not gonna happen because Boa will just clear your bodies and will just keep on healing. Don't forget, we get the cards like Porcelino in the meta. Boa is playing the new A-Cost Teach, which makes triggering Gorgon Sisters late game or triggering the blockers, or I even seen one Boa player using the null cost, zero cost NL event in their deck because that 8 cost each is so beneficial. And then don't forget they have access to the 9 cost Boa, which makes sense, right? Where they can basically say, okay, you trash one card from your life, I heal one, and then next turn I'm just gonna go crazy. So yeah, that deck is very very strong and very aggressive. It's still one of the decks I think Crocodile still has the decent chance of winning if you like learn the matchup very good and if you learn how to play against it, or maybe even change your lists according to the playstyle of Boa. But one of the next one is the one I'm having a lot of questions. So we have the new Goofy. Goofy is a weird one for Crocodile, right? It's an early aggression board swarm consistency deck that will draw a lot and also put a lot of bodies, which means usually this is instant death for Crocodile. Now, the issue that I have with Goofy is their bodies are easy to clear. Once they swing once with it, you know you will be able to clear them and they're gone. So that is my dilemma I'm facing with Goofy. So if you're a Crocodile, right, in that matchup, you do not want to play the Crocodile down as soon as you get to 8 or 9 dawn. What you want to do is actually play wide, play safe, and instead you on your 7 or 8 dawn turn, you will play the fucking Missile Sunday down just to go wide. And then on the turn after that, what you can do is drop the Nightmare Luffy to become a 7k lead. What this will do is enable your leader to be a 7k leader, which will make it easier to defend against all those little hits. This is also one of the reasons why I think Crocodile is actually not that bad into Goofy, but I think you still need to have the optimal hand and know how to deal with the matchup. This is not depending on who goes first or second. I mean, you would like to go first as Crocodile, of course, but they also like to go second. So there's also the first dilemma. You want your curve, but they will get their curve because of you getting your curve, and this is going to be an issue because turn one, if they get the bone clay into those bones, you're kind of cooked already and you really need to think about it. So Crocodile can do both. Crocodile can go first or second. It's not as bad as we think. So I think against Goofy is one of those decks where we're gonna swap it up and want to go second more than we want to go first. Especially because we don't want to play the 8 cost Croc on our 8 on turn. We want to be playing Missile Sunday and Nightmare Luffy, which are both 7 cost, which makes it more easy to defend if we drop one of those and we keep one down up with ground death, especially if we have the 7 cost Luffy down and we're a 7k leader, because then they wouldn't need to swing a 12 to be able to go through ground death. 12, 11, my apologies. But you get my point. Alright, you guys, now that we've talked about the deck in itself, now we're going to talk about how I've been playing it right now in OP16. There are a few things I'm going to change, and we're gonna go through over them. So first of all, we're still keeping all the 2Ks. We're going to actually increase Miss Merry Christmas. What we're going to take out is probably maybe one Miss All Sunday and one Mr. 4, because we need the counter amounts. There's a lot of aggression going around next format, and we don't want to be slacking off on our defenses, especially because Crocodile, your aggression early game will not be able to compete against theirs. So this actually becoming a 4-off is not a bad idea. On another hand, also, it might not even be used as a 2K. What we will be using it is actually as the 1-drop to be able to get rid of maybe the Marineford stage or whatever, Moby Dick, etc. We might be using them, Merry Christmas, I mean, to be able to discard said stage to be able to control the flow of the game a bit better. We don't want Sengoku to get access easily to their engine pieces, or even Rosie as an example. We do not want Ace to be filtering through their hand and being able to give one free dawn to their leader while getting a search as well. So that is one of the things that I need to talk about. Then the list is pretty much the same, right? The only thing is I'm going to share is maybe some more tips and tricks regarding Crocodile. What we're witnessing, and I'm gonna thank my friend Stoff for pointing this out. I'm gonna put his name somewhere on the screen. But one of the things that you need to manage against Crocodile is really knowing the matchups. Crocodile, you can play two different ways. Crocodile, you can play the focus on the missile Sunday, go wide and go big bonk every turn against your opponent, or you can go the safe route and be freezing your opponent. Now this is very matchup dependent, and like I said, in the next format we're facing a lot of aggressive decks, so being maybe more aggro with Miss All Sunday will pay off instead of just chaining your Crocs back to back. So do not just autopilot with Crocodile, right? You need to learn and put in the time with the deck. It is not an easy deck, I'm gonna be honest. On paper it might seem easy, but it is not. There's a lot of thought that need to come when you're playing this specific leader. Now another thing is, do not feel forced to play Dust Bones every time. A lot of people, they instantly go to play Crocodile, KO, Mr. 2 and play out Dust Bones. But if there is no board control to be done, or if there is no reason to play a body out to start swinging at their bodies, play Gem. Sometimes you need the filtering and you need the blocker. Especially in this aggressive meta, you will need the blocker. I am telling you, I might even be bumping this up to 4 at some point, because Dust Bones is very good at clearing chum blockers, or if you make like against Black Yellow Teach, if you use leader effect into curing a Croc or a Bone Clear or whatever you need at that moment, and you play a Dust Bones out, you may rest one of their 10 cost Teach, which can win you the game. I've done it multiple times. But do not go into this autopilot. Dust Bones is an very easily cleared body on your field. It is just a 6k body, guys, remember. And that 6k body, while it might become a 6k pseudo blocker, if you think that way, you will not have the recycle you would have with Gem. So therefore, Dust Bones is really, you play him if you can put the pressure on, or you have the advantage early game, where you can play Dust Bones out and next turn you can drop your Missile Sunday to have multiple swings the turn after that when you drop your Croc, let's say. But otherwise, if you're playing against very aggro deck, do not be scared to use Babe or Mr. 5 Gem. I think Gem is way better, because if you're in a position where you need to drop Gem, there is a high chance that if you don't drop Gem, you will not be able to drop your Crocodile anyway, so the Babe is not there to help you at that moment. Babe is really the backup plan of the backup plan. If you do not have access to a Croc and you milled like 3 of them and you haven't seen the other one, then Babe is the only way to get it. right? So this is it. Also, Luffy. Do not drop Luffy every fucking game, guys. Luffy is a great piece of tech you can use in Crocodile, but it is not your main focus. Luffy will come in handy, like I said, in those decks where the most swings are five, sixes, maybe even sevens, because then you can easily 1k out of those. Like I'm saying, a Goofy is one of those. This is currently the only deck that comes to mind on my end, but that being that 7k helps a lot. Also in the mirror match, dropping a Miss All Sunday and the turn after that, dropping the Luffy instead of dropping a Crocodile is insane. Because in a mirror match, you don't want to be the first guy to drop a Croc. That is as simple as that. Because that drop is gonna come down and you will gain basically no value from it. Because that thing is getting frozen every turn, as well as your second one. Because when you will drop your second one, they will drop their second one, and then your two crocs will be frozen and they would still have basically one croc advantage over you. So be smart about when you play the Luffy and when you play the croc in different matchups. That is gonna be it for me today, guys. So this list is still a work in progress. I am caught in between Yamato, Sengoku, and Crocodile right now as my main decks for OP16. I am slightly leaning towards Yamato because I feel like to be performing with Croc, you're gonna be needing to put a lot of time and a lot of thought process in the deck, which I don't feel like I have the time for right now. So therefore, I'm gonna go the route of Yamato and Sengoku as a fun deck. I would also like to work on Emu for the next tournament because I feel like Emu has possibilities to be played, but it's still very difficult and it's still in the early stages. Anyway, guys, thanks a lot for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you like the video, and don't forget to put the notification bell on. And this will be the last video for this week. I will be back next week for new videos again, except the Tuesday. I will be off simply because I am getting married. So yeah, happy day then, I hope. But thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys very soon. Bye bye.